Good morning, everyone. It's AJ, the Movie Owl. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a movie review on Batman The Long Halloween Part 2, the animated film. A little bit of background first, obviously. So this film is part 5 of the new DC universe of movies. Part 1 was Superman Man of Tomorrow. Part 2 was Batman Soul of the Dragon. Part 3 was Justice Society World War II. Part 4 was Long Halloween Part 1. And next is Long Halloween Part 2, which is what I'm reviewing now. Okay, so this story is based upon a 13-issue maxi series or mini series, however you want to look at it, that was written and drawn by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale back in 1996 to 97. I did read it at the time, but you know, you're looking at 25 years ago now, so I can't remember it. So the basis of my review is on the film itself, not on a comparison between the comic book and the film. This comic book has obviously been adapted in such a way that it fits within the continuity of these films, this new film series, so there are going to be liberties taken with the story in comparison. But like I said, I can't remember the story, so yeah, it's like I'm going into it fresh and blind, so to speak. 25 years is a long time, a lot of comic books read between then and now, so yeah. So I'll give you a quick rundown. The film runs at 90 minutes long. It's the primary players in the film are Batman, Jim Gordon, Harvey Dent, Two-Face, Carmine Falcone, Mob Boss, and Selina Kyle, Catwoman. Voice artists, your main two voice artists are Jensen Ackles, who played Dean Winchester in Supernatural, and Josh Duhamel. You'll know him from the first couple of Transformer films. He's been in some other stuff as well. He does the voice for Harvey Dent. But that's sort of by the by. I mean, you know, I've watched Supernatural all the way through. If no one had told me, I wouldn't be able to tell that it was Jensen Ackles doing the voice. You know, if it's not Kevin Conroy, then you know, I don't really notice who they are. And with these films, the voice casts always change between, you know, they'll do another Batman, it won't be Jensen Ackles again, it'll probably be someone else. Yeah, so, you know, that doesn't really matter. But, so let's actually talk about the film itself. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so the read-up for the film goes like this, and I'll be reading this off a bit of paper, obviously. The killer, known as Holiday, continues to stalk the Falcone crime family while a new class of costume criminal rises in Gotham City. Batman suspects that a former ally might be the serial killer. Yes, so let me talk a bit about the film. Okay, so the film opens with Batman under the feminine wiles of Poison Ivy. She's utilising him to sign over all his assets to the Falcone family. Obviously, holidays come and pass. You know, you get Valentine's Day, and the others that follow. You know, St. Patrick's Day and all that. So basically, Batman's missing for about 3 months at the start of this film. He does eventually get rescued by Catwoman, who comes in and, you know, saves the day. Now, I will be talking, like I said, from here I will be talking a bit about the plot, but I won't mention any of the spoilers or the main reveals of the film or anything like that, so not to spoil it for you. But there might be minor, you know, things that you pick up on, you know, yeah, but nothing of any major significance or relevance to the story. So, you know, as the story progresses, you have a breakout at Arkham, and Jonathan Crane, aka Scarecrow, breaks out. Batman attempts to apprehend him, but actually gets injected with fear toxin, and it affects him, and you know, his fears are to do with his mother and father being killed, and again he's rescued by Selina Kyle and brought back home. There's a lot of crime family stuff in it between the two main crime families. You know, obviously they're suspecting one another of being the Holiday killer and all this sort of stuff. They're also suspecting that Harvey Dent might possibly be the Holiday killer. The story focuses heavily on Harvey Dent and his transformation into Two-Face. As the film progresses, you see his other side come out, which is something that I've not really seen on screen before too much, where you've got an inner voice, like almost a Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. You've got this other voice overpowering his voice, so to speak. You do see him in court get splashed with the acid and become Two-Face and all that. He eventually teams up with Solomon Grundy, and yeah, they you know, start attacking Gotham. He gets together all the costumed villains, so to speak, so Penguin, Joker, Jonathan Crane, Poison Ivy, the Mad Hatter. All these characters appear in it in some way or another. The story's all interconnected, intertwined. You know, the effects of why he becomes Two-Face is intertwined with this story, and all this sort of stuff within this small universe of films that they're going to be expanding upon. Yeah, so yeah, you know, I don't really want to go in too much, because there are, obviously it's a kind of like a whodunit kind of story, and I don't want to spoil that for anyone, so I'm not going to. Now let's talk a bit about like the voice acting. You know, the voice acting in all these films do come across as a bit stiff to me all the time. You know, a bit sort of like, you know, people are not overly invested. They're just sort of reading the lines. I can imagine, you know, they're obviously, you know, they're probably reading their lines like weeks apart. You know, when they're having a conversation, bam, 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 it might be that he's reading his line here, like, you know, and 2 weeks later, she's reading her lines, and then they obviously cut them in. So you lose a kind of bit of, you know, and I find that with a lot of the animated films, you know, it's the DC ones primarily. The art, I've got used to the art style now in these, and I'm liking them, because when you know, Superman Man of Tomorrow came about, the first one, all the art styles kind of match, but they do these thick, heavy lines around the outsides of the people, of the character drawings, which was a bit sort of like at first, but I've got used to that, and I actually like that style now. Gotham City looks pretty much like how it does in the animated series, but obviously a bit more filmic, so to speak. You know, you got the timeless cars and all this sort of stuff. You know, yeah, it's all done like that, like it should be. The other thing about the art style that I like is that these films don't seem to be affected by today's sort of society of you know, of defeminising women. You see a lot of things where women, you know, they're sort of animated in an androgynous kind of way that you can't tell whether they're actually male or female. They're drawn in this, you know, I don't know, to appease today's society and all that sort of thing. What I like about these DC films is the women are actually women. I mean, you know, Poison Ivy looked great. She looked pretty much like how, you know, the statue here looks. She looked like a woman, all right, heavily sexualised woman and all that, perfect body and all that sort of thing, but she wasn't made to look androgynous. Same with Catwoman. Yeah, and you had bigger women in it, you know, from the crime family, a bit plumper and all that sort of thing. So that was great to see. Yeah, so the art was great, you know, the action in the film was great. There is a bit of language. The F word is used once in the film, they've got away with. I believe it's got like 15 rating, so yeah, they can use it at least once, I believe. The film runs in at 90 minutes long. I might have said that before, I can't remember. So is it any good? Yes, yeah, it is. You know, like I said, I can't compare it to the comics. I don't remember it. I can only just take it on its own value, its own basis. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I do enjoy all the DC animated films. I do have them all on Blu-ray. Big fan, obviously, as a comic reader. Obviously, some of the films are better than others, but you know, DC have it together with their films. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it a long time, and they're very good at it with their animation. You know, it's the one thing where they're better than Marvel. Obviously, Marvel are better with their live action films, but DC have got it down to the ground with their animated films, and you know, the live action should sort of follow suit and, you know, take a look at what they're doing and sort of say, all right, let's do some of this. But yeah, so worthwhile watching. I'm pretty sure that in a month or two you'll probably see a Blu-ray where the two are joint together into one film. They've done it with Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. They've done it with the Death of Superman and the Return of Superman storyline in the last batch of DC films. So I expect that they'll do a special one of these where they're both put together as a sort of 3-hour animated movie, which I'll pick up. Yeah, so yeah, all positive, all good. So yeah, that's it, pretty much. It's me done. I'm not going to give it a rating out of 10, I never do. It's too simplistic. But yeah, it's a good, worthwhile DC animated movie. Slap it together with the first one, you got a 3-hour great animated movie that you can watch. Who done it? Bit of mystery, some reveals at the end, character development. You got to remember that Batman, the character of Batman Bruce Wayne, is quite young. He's fresh to being Batman in this. He's not like been in the role for that long, because obviously they're growing this animated universe. Yeah, so that's it. Have you seen the first part or anything like that? Give me your thoughts on it. You looking forward to this? Yeah, so anyway, this is AJ Dunn. Please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, leave me a comment down below. It helps the channel, helps me. You know, yeah, I'm doing this for fun. I want to just grow the channel and talk about films and comics and whatever else, statues, all that sort of malarkey. And yeah, so anyway, this is AJ. I'm getting away. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Hope to speak to you soon. Have a good day, whatever you're up to. See you later.